what I'm wondering when we talk about the economy, there are long after we start recovering, will there not be change that we're going to be living with in terms of, for example, the health consequences, in terms of just up here how we feel about ourselves. Once you lose a job, you get really scared about losing the next one. And I'm wondering, do you see that as a long-term change that we're going to be struggling with?
Well, I think there are going to be effects like that, actually. I was reading a very interesting diary of the Great Depression, which was by a Youngstown lawyer. Have you read that book? It's very, very interesting. It was a diary that was kept by a Youngstown lawyer during the Depression, and his son found the diaries and decided to have them edited and published. It's quite fascinating because you see the drip, drip, drip over 10 years of what it was like in real time for a member of just the middle classes in Youngstown who was watching everybody suffering around them, but in this very small kind of granular way, all the bad signs of what was happening and all the little moments of hope and the day that, the dentist starts taking free patients because if he can't get paid, at least he wants to help the neighbors, and a sense all the time, is it changing, is it changing? But also a sense of the sort of quiet waste of a generation, too, of people abandoning their homes. And it does affect people. I mean, if you have to decide whether or not you can educate your kids in the way that you expected to, and then you don't, quite clearly those kids are going to have the consequences as they, grow up and become somebody else, so that there will be a whole kind of wasted element in the society, which is obviously a very tragic thing and and has to be addressed. But I don't really see it being properly addressed, which is where the rage comes in. Now, of course, people can vote with their feet, and we're seeing the Tea Party movement, which is about that fury, which I could totally understand. I mean, I think there tends to be a sort of sense amongst the sort of more liberal, sort of elite kind of communications that it's something to be sneered at or laughed at or whatever, but it absolutely isn't. It's something to understand as being genuinely felt pain that's expressing itself in the way that it is. So it's very interesting socially at the moment.
Yeah.